Welcome back to another exciting episode of Cyber Defense TV. I'm your host, Gary Malevsky, and the publisher of Cyber Defense Magazine. Sitting in my hot seat today is the Senior Vice President of a very small company, but we're going to learn a lot from him. It's Dr. John Brickey, and I've heard of this company, but I'm not sure what they do. It's MasterCard.
That's right. We're not a credit card company. We're a technology company in the payment space. Most people don't know that.
Wait a minute. How big is MasterCard? Do you know?
We're over 20,000 employees.
We have to redo this interview. It's a big company. It's over 20,000 employees.
Yeah.
And you're not a credit card company.
We're not. My CEO
I always thought you were a brand, by the way. I always thought you were a brand.
A brand? A huge brand.
Like Kleenex, right? Oh. Where's my MasterCard?
There you go. We are.
So you're a brand, and you've licensed that brand to everybody.
Exactly. So we franchise our brand to banks.
And what are banks getting out of leveraging your brand?
They're getting our network. They're getting security embedded in the network. They're getting the speed of our network. They're getting the reach of our network. And they're getting the technology, the innovation of our network.
I'm having a DSS epiphany or something. I'm going way back to PCI.
Oh, yeah.
I think you guys did your own thing and Discover did their own thing, and everyone is fighting over it. And you wrestled with the standard and helped make it a standard, didn't you?
Yes, we did. And we love standards. Matter of fact, we're working right now with NIST on the National Center for Cybersecurity Education workforce framework, because we believe that we need a standard there in the workforce as well. Interoperability for the workforce.
You have a PhD. I can call you doctor.
Sure.
Are you, we have problems in human issues where we go to the doctor and they try to help us out, and they're always doing a non-root cause analysis. They go, oh, you're in pain, here's a painkiller.
To treat symptoms.
To treat the symptoms.
Yeah.
But are you the doctor that treats the root problem?
We try to. So we brought on a new team last fall of security researchers, and that's what we're aiming to do. So I'm responsible for our cyber range, and in that range we do proof of concepts and experiments. And I have two other PhDs who are working on my team right now. I'm hiring more, and that's some of what we're looking to do.
So MasterCard has a cyber range.
We have our own cyber range, and we have our own cybersecurity researchers.
This is phenomenal. Here's what I really need to understand. And you brought up NIST, which I tell people I have to uncover acronyms. I'm in the anti-acronym year, National Institute of Standards and Technology.
Exactly.
Right? Everything's an acronym.
Yes.
But MasterCard is easy to remember without saying it's an acronym.
Right.
You're hearing about acronyms at trade shows: SOAR, Security Orchestration, Automation Response; AI, Machine Learning; Artificial Intelligence, ML, Machine Learning. Right.
Right.
EDR, Endpoint Defense and Response. I can't keep up with it. There's so many acronyms. I'm getting dizzy. Either. Right. What's on the horizon that's non-acronym that we can tell our viewers and our CISOs who are watching and listening, Chief Information Security Officers?
Yeah, that's a great question. And that's my job, is to try to figure out what's on the horizon. So for example, we just held a threat casting workshop where we hired a futurist to come in, and we worked across the enterprise. We worked with customers to try to figure out what are the big threats that can really disrupt us in the next 10 years. And when you talk 10 years to technologists, you're really talking about 5 or less.
I can do 100 years out for you as a real futurist. Don't forget me.
We'll bring you in, because that would be helpful. Yeah. But 10 years is tough enough.
But you and I won't be here in 100 years to know if I was telling the truth.
That's true.
I'm going to do my best.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's like a lot of the products you see here.
Exactly.
So we're trying to look out to the future and then look at the capabilities that we may need. So we backwards plan, like, okay, if these are the things that could really hurt us, what do we do now? And that's a tough process. So part of my job then, based off of that, is trying to identify the trends and translate that to the so what. So these are the trends we see. Automation, huge. AI's embedded in everything.
What about using my MasterCard, sliding it into my next car, and paying on the fly?
You don't even have to slide it into your car. It'll be in there like your Apple phone.
NFC or
right, just like
Wi-Fi.
So we helped develop the technology behind the tokenization that's in Apple Pay today. And so we already have a car. Our president of operations and technology, who the CISO reports to, has a car that has payment embedded into the computer.
You know what's driving me crazy right now?
What's that?
Skimmers.
Yeah.
I get on TV all the time. There's skimmers. They throw these skimmers on gas pumps that are unattended.
Yeah.
People have no clue. They throw their credit card in, which is not MasterCard.
No.
Because you are a technology brand. But they throw a card in, and then it gets skimmed, and then instantly someone like me gets a phone call.
Yeah.
Hey, Gary, are you with my whatever? I won't name the brand.
Right.
Are you in Mexico right now buying things in Acapulco? And I go, I wish I were. This happens all the time across America. Can you help these gas pump people?
So we can, and it is a large ecosystem. We provide products and solutions to help banks. So our customers are primarily banks. Consumers are not directly our customers, although we are concerned about the whole ecosystem and helping our consumers. So we have a whole division responsible for that public or that customer facing business of helping the merchants, the banks, and the consumers ultimately. So we have a lot of capabilities. We can detect that fraud in 200 milliseconds, by the way.
200 milliseconds?
200 milliseconds. And we can save banks.
It's funny you say that because I actually was going to guess 40, but that's because I'm thinking 5 years ahead.
We'll be there.
I know. 200 milliseconds is pretty quick.
It is.
It's one of my favorite speeds. No, it really is. No, because breaches are all about time, right?
Yeah.
If you can cut off the bad guy in 200 milliseconds, for MasterCard and your customers, the banks, you've just saved them thousands of dollars maybe, depending on that breach. What about in the network, in the intranet? Is there anything you want to do to help people invent better things?
So in the network of the internet,
I'm a bank and I have an intranet, right?
Yeah.
And I've partnered with you.
Yeah.
Do you care about the bank's intranet?
We do. Yeah. So one thing that we do with our customers is we like to support small and medium businesses. So there are a number of initiatives like the Global Cybersecurity Alliance Toolkit. That's just one. There are others.
Is there a website for that? Global Cybersecurity Alliance Toolkit?
Yeah, it's the GCA Toolkit, and I think it's GCAtoolkit.org.
We'll find it.
Yeah.
We'll do a search.
We're supporting them and many others. We go around we've been around the world actually lately trying to help small and medium businesses understand the risk and understand what they can do. So it's an actual toolkit. It's not just like a checklist. It's like free things that they can install and have better security in their networks.
Do you know, I had an interview with Adobe last year. They have a top security guy. And they just came out with an open source framework best practice toolkit as well.
I'll have to check it out.
And I said, Adobe, you know how many PDFs are remote access Trojans? They're not really your file format. And he goes, we know. It's not our fault, but we get the blame. So we've come out with a free toolkit to help people.
That's good.
Isn't that cool?
Yeah, we'll have to include that in the
I think you and Adobe need to talk to you.
Yeah, we'll work with them.
Yeah, good. Anything else you want to share with our viewers, listeners, readers?
Oh, just the idea that we are a technology company in the payment space. We're doing a lot with partners you mentioned earlier about helping banks. Well, we work all the time, even on this threat casting initiative we did recently. We work with the entire ecosystem. We work with governments. We work with large and small businesses to raise the water levels for everybody.
Can I tell our viewers to go to some /security page or security ? Like, is it easy to get to your stuff?
I would just say MasterCard.com.
I've heard of that site.
And then it's amazing. People don't even know we're a technology company.
They would assume
all sorts of business lines that we have. We have AI technologies. We have authentication. We have risk scorecards.
I'm glad you didn't say 2FA. I have to then translate.
We have some
multi-factor. How about 3FA?
We have some pretty awesome identity initiatives ongoing as well because we're really concerned about identity in the future.
Well, I'm concerned that if I give my fingerprint away, one of them, and it gets stolen, I have to cut that finger off. I mean, what happens when I lose my biometric?
Yeah, that's scary.
You got to keep an eye on that.
So we are working on biometric. We're also looking at like your heart rate. We're looking at
it's high right now.
It should be.
I'm teasing.
The other things we're looking at is your gait.
What's my gait? How I walk?
How you walk? Yeah, how you holding your phone? All the factors. There's many factors there. Walk backwards. Yeah, then no one else will be able to replicate your gait.
Nobody can replicate my gait, trust me. So you're looking at all these factors, and the reason is you're going to defend against fraud.
We're protecting our customers' identities.
I love it. Protecting customers' identities.
Which is the key.
And I learned for the first time that MasterCard is not the unnamed word I won't say.
Right.
C company.
That's right.
Credit card.
That's right. We're not.
You are a technology, you are a brand, and you're an innovator.
Yes.
Very cool. We made it through the hot seat. Drop the mic.
All right.
Thank you. Thank you for coming. Come back again after you go to MasterCard.com for another exciting episode on Cyber Defense TV. Thank you.